I love video game music. In particular, I love the music of Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. All of the Pokemon soundtracks hold a place near and dear to my heart, of course, but this one is the most special to me. I would even go as far as to say that it's contributed to a big part of who I am today. Really, I'm serious. Okay, let me explain. I don't think it's unreasonable to say that the kind of art and media you consume reflects your identity, music especially. What you like says something about you. But when you're a child in 2006, which is when these games were released, it can be difficult to truly discover what you like. This was of course before the era of streaming services like Spotify or SoundCloud, or before the internet became what it is today, really. So it was not easy to discover music beyond what I was exposed to in my immediate environment. For me, that was pop music from the radio, old rock my dad would listen to, whatever was on the old iPod my sister handed down to me, and classical music that my mom would make me listen to because she thought it would be good for my brain. Her words. That all changed when I got my hands on my first Nintendo DS Lite. Video games and their music were, and still are, a gateway into diverse genres of music I otherwise would not have known about or been bothered to listen to. Even in the present day, where it's easier than ever to discover new music, it can sometimes still be a little hard to break out of the algorithm bubbles that we have been placed in. So I think games can still play an important role in diversifying your musical palette. Things like jungle in Ridge Racer, bossa nova in Animal Crossing, metal in Mega Man, or ambient music in Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. It even changed my opinion on genres I already knew. I never really appreciated classical music until I learned about the use of classical composition techniques in early video games, like Pokémon Red, Blue, and Yellow. Here's a link to a fun video by Ryan Leach about that. However, there is one genre that really stands out in video game music: jazz. Many famous games have soundtracks which prominently feature jazz or jazz-adjacent music and compositional techniques, such as the Mario series and many Wii titles, or just a straight-up menu. But the game that truly introduced me to the world of jazz was Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. Now, I'm not gonna go too much into all the technicalities of jazz in this game's soundtrack. There's several other people out there much better equipped to do that than I am, like Charles Cornell or 8-Bit Music Theory. Here's some links to my favorite videos from them if you want to learn more. I'll also link other videos of theirs later on if I mention any terms that they have talked about. What I am gonna do is take you on a little journey through some of my favorite tracks on the game, and 6-year-old me's experiences hearing them for the very first time. Minor spoilers ahead, by the way, if you haven't played these games but are planning to. Okay, you've been warned. The time is 11:23 PM. I didn't finish my homework. I have school the next morning, but I don't care. All I want to do is play my brand new copy of Pokemon Diamond. I duck under the covers so my parents don't hear me, and I boot up the game. I mash the A button to get through the introductory sequence. This isn't my first rodeo after all. Yes, I know how the controls work. Yes, my rival's name is Asshat. And yes, I know how to open the menu. I just want to receive my starter Pokemon and begin my adventure. I have to visit this stupid lake first? Ugh, fine. I race towards it, holding down the B button, even though I know I don't have any running shoes yet. And then I am immediately entranced. The lake theme is like nothing I have ever heard before. It opens with a G major 7 flourish, 7s and other chord extensions being hallmark jazz features. It also throws in some metric modulation and non-functional harmony, another characteristic jazz sound. 6-year-old me didn't know all of this, of course. I was just vibing. All that impatience from earlier just faded away, and I spent a good 10 minutes or so listening to the soundtrack. This would be a common occurrence throughout my playthrough. It also helps how most video game music is designed to be looped so you can listen to it over and over again before knowing that a couple cycles of it has already passed. Not much long after, I've acquired my starter from the professor and also made some other additions to my team. But oh no, I'm out of Pokeballs. Time to spend some of my hard-earned cash I got from beating up other kids' Pokemon and taking their money. I enter through the sliding doors of the Pokémart and am greeted by an absolute banger. The swinging introduction instantly has me bobbing my head, and then the stride piano comes in and I find myself moving my entire body back and forth like a pianist's hands as they glide between chords. The little flourishes in between sections are always a nice surprise too. Who knew going to basically the Pokemon world's equivalent of a convenience store would be so much fun? Even right now, I'm genuinely smiling as I have to listen to the track while editing this video. Fast forward a week or two, and I'm well into my Pokemon voyage. Nearly at the end, in fact. My party is rough and rugged, some having been with me since the very beginning, and others joining me a little later along the way. But they're all veterans, capable of crushing anyone in their path, and I love them all equally. I've gotten all 8 gym badges and just made my way past the grueling Victory Road. It wasn't the easiest feat, but we did it, and now I'm ready to heal up and face the Elite Four. We're nearly there, nearly champions. I'm about to enter the towering gates of the Pokemon League, but something makes me stop. A tranquil tune hypnotizes me with its colorful chord extensions and swaying arpeggios. I feel like I'm floating, before a chromatic walkdown brings me back a little closer to Earth. Only for a moment though, before the track picks up again. It prompts me to reflect on my journey thus far, all the trials my partners and I have faced to get to this point. I think that's enough for today. I think my Pokemon and I deserve a little rest before facing our toughest challenge yet. I heal my party, save my game, close my DS, and drift off to sleep, dreaming of my Pokemon adventures. Now, I won't deny that my fondness for these games and their music is tinged with a lot of nostalgia. I perhaps cannot speak for the objective quality of this soundtrack, but I do know for certain that there are countless people out there who love it just as much as I do, if not more. And it was for them also their first foray into the world of jazz. Take Insane in the Rain for example. They've made an entire album covering the music of Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, jazzing it up even more than it already is. I highly recommend it if you're a fan of the games, even if you're not that into jazz, or even the other way around. This game was definitely a big stepping stone into the expansion and formation of my music taste, which some of you may already be familiar with if you've seen some of my previous videos. I really am not exaggerating when I say that Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum soundtrack had a big impact on who I am. Without it, I would have never discovered many artists and genres which I love, I would have never developed my passion for game music composition, or even just music in general, and I wouldn't be studying what I am in university today. I have no doubt its influence will carry over into my future endeavors too, whatever that may be. So, I would like to thank everyone who worked on these games, and especially its composers, Junichi Masuda, Hitomi Sato, Go Ichinose, and Morikazu Aoki. Thank you for being part of the soundtrack of my life.